You're 35, maybe 38. You've spent your 20s and early 30s building yourself. You worked on your career, your finances, your character. You didn't chase every woman who gave you attention. You were looking for something real, something serious. And back then, when you were that good man with potential, women your age weren't interested. They were too busy chasing excitement, drama, and bad boys who gave them nothing but stories and heartbreak. But now those same women are suddenly everywhere. They're on dating apps saying they want something serious. They're talking about family values and how they're done with games. They're dressing modestly, acting feminine, mirroring everything you say you want in a woman. And you're thinking, finally, a woman who gets it. A woman who wants what I want. But let me tell you something that might save your life. She doesn't want you. She's settling for you. And if you're not careful, you're about to become the cleanup guy for a woman who spent her best years rejecting men exactly like you. In this video, I'm going to expose the settlement phase. Why women who ignored good men in their 20s suddenly want them in their 30s and 40s. How to spot the red flags that she's wearing a wife material mask. Why these marriages often end in divorce a few years later. And most importantly, how to vet properly and protect yourself before you become another casualty. Alpha lens mindset here. Let's break this down. So what is the settlement phase? It's the strategic pivot that happens when a woman realizes the lifestyle she's been living has an expiration date. For years, she chose excitement over stability, bad boys over good men, fun over future. She had options, she had attention, and she used it to chase the emotional highs that came from unpredictable, dominant, often toxic men. These guys didn't commit, didn't provide, didn't build anything with her, but they gave her the tingles, they gave her the drama, they gave her the stories she tells her friends over wine. But something happens in a woman's mid-30s to early 40s. The attention starts declining. The bad boys she used to attract are now chasing younger versions of her. Her biological clock starts making noise she can't ignore. Her friends are getting married, having kids, posting family photos. And she looks around and realizes she's still single, still playing games, still chasing thrills that don't lead anywhere. That's when the panic sets in. That's when the settlement phase begins. The settlement phase isn't about her suddenly becoming mature, evolved, or ready for a real relationship. It's about her realizing that time is running out and she needs to lock down a good man before her options disappear completely. The same men she rejected, ignored, or friend-zoned in her 20s, men with stability, resources, and good character, suddenly become very attractive. Not because she desires them, but because she needs them. And that distinction is everything. Here's what makes this so dangerous for men. She's been watching good men her entire life. She knows what you want to hear. She knows how to act like wife material. She'll mirror your values, adopt your interests, agree with your worldview, and present herself as the woman you've been searching for. But it's a performance. It's strategic compliance designed to secure commitment from a man she wouldn't have looked at twice 10 years ago. And once she has that ring, once she has that security, the mask starts to slip. Let me walk you through the pattern, because this plays out the same way over and over again. In her early 20s, she's getting constant attention. She's young, attractive, and has options. The good men who approach her, the ones with long-term potential, seem boring. They're predictable, they're stable, they want to build something real. But she's not interested in real. She's interested in excitement. So she chooses the bad boys, the guys with edge, with danger, with no plans beyond next weekend. These men give her emotional highs she becomes addicted to. Years pass. She's in relationship after relationship with men who don't commit, don't provide, and don't respect her. She tells herself each one is different, that this time it'll work out. But it never does. These men pump and dump her, keep her as a side option, or string her along just long enough to take what they want before moving on. And she accepts it, because the emotional roller coaster is more intoxicating than the stability she keeps rejecting. By her late 20s, early 30s, she starts to notice the shift. The high-value bad boys who used to chase her are now chasing 23-year-olds. The attention she once took for granted is decreasing. She's still attractive, but the power dynamic has changed. She's no longer the prize, she's competing, and competing is exhausting. That's when the biological clock and social pressure converge. She sees her friends getting married. Her family is asking when she's going to settle down. Her eggs are aging. The panic becomes real. So she pivots. Hard. Suddenly, the good man she ignored for a decade looks like exactly what she needs. He's got a career, a home, stability, resources. He's responsible, loyal, drama-free. He's everything she didn't want when she had better options. But now that her options are shrinking, he's exactly what she'll accept. And here's the move. She doesn't approach him as the woman she actually is, the one with a high body count, a history of toxic relationships, and an alpha imprint that's never going away. No, she approaches him wearing the wife material mask. The wife material mask is the persona she constructs to lock down a good man during her settlement phase. She suddenly becomes feminine, submissive, agreeable. She talks about wanting kids, valuing family, being done with games. She'll go to church if you go to church. She'll cook if you value that. She'll act modest if that's what attracts you. She mirrors everything you say you want, not because she's genuinely aligned with those values, but because she's desperate to secure commitment before her window closes completely. And here's what makes this so effective. You've been waiting for a woman like this. You've been rejected by women who chose excitement over you. You've watched good men get passed over while bad boys got rewarded. So when this woman shows up, seemingly perfect, agreeing with everything you value, finally seeing your worth, it feels like vindication. It feels like you finally found her. But what you actually found is a woman running out of options, wearing a mask, trying to lock you down before you realize you're her settlement prize, not her first choice. If she's lucky enough to marry you, the clock starts ticking. Because masks are exhausting to maintain. And eventually, the woman she really is starts leaking through. The excitement she craved for years doesn't exist in your stable, predictable, drama-free relationship. The bad boy alpha imprint that shaped her entire sexual psychology doesn't go away just because she married a good man. She starts getting bored. She starts resenting you for being exactly what she said she wanted. And a few years later, she initiates divorce, takes half your assets, and goes back to searching for the thrill she convinced herself she didn't need. So why does this pattern exist? Why do women reject good men in their 20s only to desperately seek them in their 30s? Because youth gives women inflated options and terrible judgment. When a woman is young and attractive, she's flooded with male attention. Every option looks available. She doesn't have to choose strategically because she believes the attention will last forever. So she chooses based on emotion, on tingles, on excitement, because consequences feel distant and reversible. The bad boys she chooses create what's called an alpha imprint. These are the men who gave her the most intense emotional and sexual experiences of her life. The unpredictability, the dominance, the drama, it all creates a psychological baseline for what attraction feels like to her. And once that imprint is set, it's almost impossible to override. When she later tries to settle down with a stable, good man, he can't compete with that imprint. He's not triggering the same emotional highs. She might respect him, appreciate him, even love him in a way, but she's not viscerally attracted to him the way she was to the bad boys. And that gap becomes the cancer that kills the marriage. The biological clock is the alarm bell, not the root cause. Yes, fertility decline forces women to confront reality. Yes, the desire for children accelerates the settlement phase. But the real issue is psychological. It's the pattern of chasing excitement, rejecting stability, and building a relationship history that makes her incapable of being satisfied with a good man, even when she finally chooses one. The biological clock just forces her to make a move before it's too late. But the move is strategic, not authentic. Here's what most men don't understand about the settlement phase. She's not lying when she says she wants a good man. She genuinely believes she's ready. She's tired of the chaos. She wants stability. But wanting something intellectually doesn't mean you're capable of appreciating it emotionally. She can want a good man the same way someone can want to eat healthy while craving junk food. The intention is real. The ability to sustain it is not. And you, the good man, end up being the broccoli she forces herself to eat while fantasizing about the cheeseburger. So how do you spot a woman in her settlement phase? How do you recognize the wife material mask before you commit to someone who's settling for you? Let me break down the red flags. Pay close attention because these signs are subtle, but they're always there if you know what to look for. Red flag number 1. She's in a sudden hurry. You've been dating for 3 months and she's already talking about marriage, kids, timelines. She's pushing for commitment faster than the relationship has naturally developed. This urgency isn't passion, it's panic. She's operating on a deadline and she needs to lock you down before you figure out what's really happening. A woman who's genuinely into you is excited about the journey. A woman who's settling is racing to the destination. Number 2, her past doesn't match her present persona. She talks about wanting a traditional relationship, but her history is full of toxic situationships with men who never committed. She says she values modesty, but her Instagram from 3 years ago tells a different story. She claims she's done with games, but her body count and relationship history suggest she's been playing games for a decade. The past predicts the future. If who she was doesn't match who she's claiming to be now, she's performing, not transformed. 3. She mirrors you too perfectly. Every value you state, she agrees with. Every interest you have, she suddenly shares. Every preference you express, she adopts. It's uncanny how aligned you seem. But real compatibility includes friction, differences, and individuality. When someone mirrors you perfectly, they're not being authentic. They're being strategic. She's figured out what you want, and she's becoming that to secure you. The real her will emerge later, and you won't recognize her. Number 4. She avoids talking about her past in detail. When you ask about previous relationships, she's vague. I just made bad choices. I wasn't ready back then. I was young and dumb. She won't give you specifics about why relationships ended, how many partners she's had, or what patterns defined her 20s. That vagueness is intentional. She knows if you knew the full story, you'd see the red flags. So she controls the narrative and keeps it surface level. 5. She's overly agreeable and conflict avoidant. You never fight. She never disagrees. Everything you suggest sounds good to her. This might seem like peace, but it's actually a warning sign. Real relationships have conflict because two individuals with their own needs and perspectives will occasionally clash. If she never pushes back, never expresses a contrary opinion, never stands her ground, she's not being easygoing. She's being strategic. She's avoiding anything that might threaten the commitment she's trying to secure. Number 6. She's financially unstable or looking for rescue. She's in her mid-30s or early 40s with no savings, inconsistent career, maybe debt from years of impulsive decisions. And now she's looking for a man with stability, resources, a home. She's not looking for a partner. She's looking for a bailout. A woman who spent her 20s prioritizing fun over building anything substantial is now trying to access your resources as a shortcut to the life she didn't build for herself. 7. Her friends are a mess. Pay attention to the women she surrounds herself with. If her closest friends are bitter, single, chaotic, or have similar histories of bad decisions, that's her peer group. That's who influenced her for years, and birds of a feather flock together. If she hasn't distanced herself from toxic influences, she's still part of that world, just wearing a costume to lock you down. And finally, number 8, she doesn't seem genuinely attracted to you. Sex is infrequent, obligatory, or feels transactional. She's affectionate in public for appearances, but cold in private. She's more interested in the relationship status than in you as a person. She's locking down commitment, not connection. If you feel more like a checkbox than a desire, you're being settled for. And settling is the foundation for resentment, boredom, and eventual divorce. If you're seeing 4 or more of these red flags, You're not building a relationship with a woman who chose you. You're being locked down by a woman who's out of options. And what comes next is predictable, painful, and entirely avoidable if you're willing to walk away now. So why do these marriages end in divorce a few years later? Because the illusion can only last so long. The wife material mask is exhausting to maintain. Eventually, she stops performing. The real her, the one shaped by years of bad boys, chaos, and alpha imprints, starts to surface. And that version of her isn't compatible with the stable, predictable, drama-free life you're providing. The boredom sets in first. She thought she wanted stability, but stability feels like stagnation. She misses the emotional highs of toxic relationships. She misses the unpredictability, the passion, the drama. You're a good man, but you're not giving her the tingles. You're not triggering the attraction patterns that were set in her 20s, and she starts resenting you for being exactly what she said she wanted. Then comes the wandering eye. She starts noticing other men. Maybe a co-worker who's a little edgy. Maybe an ex who resurfaces with the same chaos she used to crave. She's not happy, and she's blaming you for it, even though you've done nothing wrong. You've been loyal, stable, supportive. But none of that matters because she wasn't attracted to those qualities. She needed them for security, not desire. Eventually, she initiates the divorce. She'll have reasons. We grew apart. I'm not happy anymore. I need to find myself. But the real reason is simple. She was never genuinely in love with you. She was in love with what you provided. And once the novelty of security wears off, once the biological clock pressure is resolved or abandoned, once she realizes she's still unfulfilled, she's out. And you're left destroyed, financially drained, and wondering what you did wrong. The answer is nothing. You were just the settlement prize for a woman who was never capable of appreciating you. So what do? How do you protect yourself from becoming the cleanup guy for a woman in her settlement phase? Let me walk you through the steps. This is your defense strategy. Use it. Step 1. Vet her past thoroughly and without apology. You need to know her relationship history, her body count, the patterns that defined her 20s and early 30s. Don't accept vague answers. Don't let her guilt trip you for asking. If she says, the past doesn't matter, that's code for, my past is disqualifying and I'm hoping you're too nice to press. A woman with nothing to hide will answer honestly. A woman with a chaotic past will deflect, shame you for asking, or minimize what she's done. Her reaction tells you everything. Step 2. Watch her actions, not her words. She can say she's changed, that she values what you value, that she's ready for something real. But words are cheap, actions are truth. Is she consistent over time, or does the mask slip when she's comfortable? Does she respect your boundaries, or does she test them? Does she invest in you with effort and time, or is she just collecting commitment? Give it at least a year before making any serious decisions. Time reveals who people really are. Step 3. Test for genuine attraction, not just compliance. Compliance is her agreeing with everything you say and doing what you want. Attraction is her initiating sex, pursuing you, showing enthusiasm for your presence. If she's just going along with your leadership without genuine desire, you're being settled for. A woman who's genuinely attracted will show it through effort, initiation, and energy. If you're doing all the work while she passively receives, you're the settlement prize. Step 4. Protect yourself financially before committing. Prenuptial agreement, non-negotiable. If she refuses, she's already planning the exit strategy. A woman who genuinely loves you and isn't motivated by resources will have no problem signing a prenup. A woman who's settling for your stability will fight it because she's already viewing you as a financial safety net. Protect your assets, your future, and your peace of mind before you legally tie yourself to anyone. And step 5, be willing to walk away if the red flags are there. This is the hardest part because by the time you're vetting someone seriously, you're emotionally invested, but your willingness to walk away is your power. If she's in her settlement phase, if she's wearing a mask, if her past doesn't align with her present, walk. You deserve someone who genuinely chose you, not someone who settled for you when her options ran out. Loneliness is better than being used. Single is better than being the backup plan. Here's the ultimate truth. Not all women in their 30s and 40s are in settlement mode. Some women genuinely evolved, learned from their past, and are ready for something real, but you have to be able to tell the difference. The woman who genuinely evolved will own her past without shame or deflection. She'll have done the internal work to understand her patterns. She won't be in a rush. She won't mirror you perfectly. She'll have her own identity, values, and life that she's built. That woman is rare, but she exists. The woman in settlement mode, on the other hand, is performing. She's desperate. She's strategic. And she's dangerous because she'll destroy your life while convincing you she's your dream come true. Don't be the cleanup guy. Don't be the man who marries a woman in her settlement phase only to get divorced 3 years later when she gets bored with stability. You've built yourself into a high-value man. Make sure the woman you commit to actually values you, not just the resources and security you provide. Look, if this video is making you rethink a relationship you're in right now, good. That discomfort is your instincts trying to save you. Pay attention to the red flags, vet properly, protect yourself, and never ever compromise your standards just because a woman shows up saying everything you want to hear. Words are easy, patterns are truth, and her pattern over the last decade tells you everything you need to know about what your future with her will look like. You deserve a woman who chose you when she had options, not someone who settled for you when she ran out. You deserve genuine attraction, not strategic compliance. You deserve a partner who's building with you, not using you as a safety net. And if that means staying single longer, so be it. Being alone is infinitely better than being settled for. If this video opened your eyes, drop "I'm vetting properly" in the comments below. And if you need one-on-one coaching to navigate dating, vet the right way and protect yourself from settlement phase women. I offer private sessions. Link is pinned in the comments and in the description. Alpha Lens Mindset here. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sharp.